challenging conditions, the ship does boast numerous facilities to help keep morale high. The sailors have access to a variety of amenities, including gyms, movie theaters, and even a Starbucks. These facilities are critical in helping the sailors relax and recharge during their downtime. However, it's to be noted that the living conditions on board can vary depending on the sailor's rank and duties. For instance, the junior enlisted sailors typically live in crowded berthing spaces and share communal bathrooms. Meanwhile, the higher-ranked officers often have more spacious staterooms and access to private bathrooms. Regardless, it's important to highlight that the ship's crew is like a large family, with sailors from all walks of life coming together to serve their country and support one another through the ups and downs of life at sea. The sailors form tight-knit bonds with their fellow crew members, which can last a lifetime. Another significant detail is that a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with sailors working in shifts to keep the ship running smoothly. The work is demanding and often physically and mentally challenging, with sailors performing a wide range of tasks to keep the ship and its aircraft operating at peak efficiency. It comes as no surprise that even a minor instance of carelessness, so it's obvious that the U.S. Navy goes the extra mile to assure that. But unfortunately, missiles are not the only airborne threats faced by as far as 200 miles, making it yet another essential tool for acknowledging potential threats and also avoiding collisions or congested waters. Moving on, let's take a closer look at the weapon systems employed on U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. It comes as no surprise that these gigantic ships pack a hefty punch. They're loaded with a variety of advanced weaponry, including missiles, guns, and torpedoes. One of the most important weapon systems on a carrier is the Phalanx Close-In Weapon System, otherwise known as the CIWS. This is a rapid-fire gun system that's engineered to effectively shoot down incoming missiles and aircraft at close range. As unbelievable as it sounds, the CIWS is capable of firing thousands of rounds per minute, and it serves as a critical line of defense for the carrier against threats that have made it relatively close. Another key weapon system on these ships is the Tomahawk cruise missile. Many of you must have heard about the Tomahawk, but not many of you are aware of how powerful this weapon system really is. This long-range missile is capable of striking targets up to 1,500 miles away, making it one of the most significant and powerful tools for projecting American military power worldwide. It's worth noting that the Tomahawk can be launched from a variety of different platforms, including surface ships and submarines, but it's particularly effective when launched from an aircraft carrier. Since we're already discussing the topic of weaponry, let's talk about one of the U.S. Navy's crucial prized possessions, military aircraft. U.S. Navy carriers are typically home to a variety of fixed-wing aircraft, including fighter jets, attack planes, and surveillance aircraft. One of the most iconic aircraft flown from these ships is the F/A-18 Hornet. This twin-engine powerhouse of a fighter jet is capable of flying at supersonic speeds and can carry a wide range of weapons, including air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles, and bombs as well. The F/A-18 Hornet is used for everything from air superiority missions to ground attack missions, giving it the nickname of Rhino, which comes from its commendable resilience. Another key aircraft flown from U.S. Navy aircraft carriers is the E-2 Hawkeye, an airborne early warning and control aircraft that is often used as a prerequisite measure to detect and track potential threats such as incoming enemy aircraft. The Hawkeye is equipped with a powerful radar system that can literally scan the entire sky for hundreds of miles around the aircraft carrier, essentially allowing for an early warning in case a threat is on its way. Considering all these sophisticated systems, the need for superior communication becomes quite obvious, as without communications and coordination, every system is bound to fail. One could imagine how hectic the communication systems during a warlike scenario would be, but let's see how the U.S. Navy sailors handle them. These systems are just as important as the weapons and aircraft on board, so it's no wonder that the technologies used for communication are incredibly advanced. From satellite communications to secure is the ship's satellite technology. It allows the crewmen on board to stay in touch with other ships in the battle group, as well as with command centers back on shore. This satellite communication system is also used. The control tower also springs into action, briefing the crew members and coordinating the takeoff and landing of aircraft. As the aircraft eventually take off with engines roaring, usually minutes after initiating an increased operational status, the ship's defensive weapon systems also come online, actively scanning the horizon for incoming missiles or enemy aircraft. The trained sailors manning these sophisticated systems are also on high alert and are ready to engage any threats that may come their way at any moment. Meanwhile, the medical team on board the aircraft carrier is preparing for any potential casualties, while the engineering team is ensuring that all systems on the ship are functioning properly and ready for battle. This and torpedoes, while some are keeping a close eye on the radar systems. The ship has essentially gone from a neutral state to a state of high alert and readiness to engage in combat. At this point, the crew is focused and ready for literally anything. They have trained for these scenarios extensively, and everyone is aware of their roles and responsibilities. As aircraft continue to patrol the skies and the ship's weapon systems remain active, the tension on board remains high. Every sailor knows that they are in a potentially dangerous situation, and they are prepared to do whatever it takes to protect the ship and their fellow crew members. Despite the heightened state of alert, the crew remains disciplined and professional, since they know very well that any mistake could have serious consequences, and they are committed to performing their duties to the best of their abilities. A combat situation. Now's an appropriate time to discuss combat situations where the ship is actively engaged with enemy threats. It should come as no surprise that combat on a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier is a